A biography is a groundbreaking novel that blends fantasy, biography, and feminist themes. It follows the extraordinary life of its protagonist, Orlando, who begins as a young English nobleman in the Elizabethan era, and miraculously lives for over 300 years, eventually becoming a woman, without aging significantly. In Elizabethan England, Orlando is introduced as a handsome, poetic young nobleman in Queen Elizabeth I's court. He is favored by the Queen and lives a privileged life. He falls in love with a Russian princess named Sasha, but she ultimately betrays him, leaving him heartbroken. In the 17th century, Orlando retreats into isolation, writing poetry. He is appointed ambassador to Constantinople during the reign of King Charles II. After a mysterious illness and political unrest, Orlando falls into a deep sleep and wakes up to discover he is transformed into a woman. Now Lady Orlando, she flees Constantinople dressed as a man and begins to explore life in different roles and genders. She returns to England and tries to live as a woman in a society that places strict limits on her freedom and rights. Through the 18th and 19th centuries, Orlando moves through the changing social climates of Georgian and Victorian England. She struggles with gender roles, societal expectations, and her desire for freedom. She also wrestles with finishing her life's poetic work, The Oak Tree. In the 20th century, Orlando eventually marries a sea captain, Shelmerdine, who is also fluid in his gender presentation. The novel ends in the 1920s, with Orlando arriving in modern times reflecting on her journey, identity, and the nature of time and self. The novel explores several major themes. Gender fluidity is at its heart, boldly examining gender identity and showing that a person's essence goes beyond physical sex. Orlando's journey across centuries suggests the fluidity of time and its impact on identity and society. Woolf critiques the limitations placed on women, especially regarding freedom, creativity, and recognition. Orlando's struggle to write her poem reflects Woolf's interest in the creative process and literary tradition. Orlando is written as a mock biography, full of irony and wit. Woolf plays with historical conventions and blurs the line between fiction and non-fiction. The tone is whimsical, imaginative, and often satirical. Orlando is considered a feminist classic and a queer literary milestone. It was inspired by Woolf's relationship with writer Vita Sackville-West and is often read as a love letter to her. The novel was far ahead of its time in its portrayal of gender and identity. Credits script by your name, based on Virginia Woolf's Orlando.